The Bold and the Beautiful. As Steffi and Finn plot to expose Luna, Will Spencer slips into a dangerous emotional freefall that could change everything in the escalating firestorm that is The Bold and the Beautiful. Strategy, deception, and betrayal have become daily currency. At the center of the latest upheaval is Luna Nozoa, pregnant, exposed, cornered, and the unexpected wild card in her survival, Will Spencer. What began as a clear plan to dismantle Luna's web of lies is now morphing into something no one anticipated. While Steffi Forrester and John Finnegan lead a quiet but aggressive campaign to catch Luna in the act, Will Spencer, the one person she's accused of fathering her child, is beginning to fall into the one trap no one saw coming: emotional confusion. What started as performance, obligation, and strategy may be turning into something real for Will, and that could flip the entire game on its head. For Steffi and Finn, the strategy is simplify the lie, expose the manipulation, eliminate the threat. Luna's pregnancy claim is suspect. Her timeline doesn't add up. Her paternity claim, first Remy Price, now Will is unstable. And more importantly, her motivations are far from maternal. From the moment Luna revealed she was pregnant, she has moved with precision, using the child as leverage, a human shield against accountability. Steffi doesn't believe a word of it. She never trusted Luna, and now she sees her as a danger to Will, to the Spencer family, and possibly to the child itself. Finn, torn between his Hippocratic duty and his personal instincts, stands with Steffi. The plan: get DNA evidence, corner Luna in her lies, force her to come clean, and prevent her from manipulating Will or the Spencer legacy any further. But while Steffi and Finn align behind closed doors, Will Spencer is unraveling. At first, it was all a performance. The dutiful son, the mature adult, the man who could face a crisis with calm, with class, with detachment. He agreed to engage with Luna, to keep her close, to play along until the truth surfaced. But as the days pass, Will finds himself feeling something unexpected: compassion, confusion, and worst of all, attraction. Luna, for all her manipulations, for all her lies, is starting to get under his skin. The lines between the act and reality are blurring. The more time he spends with her, the more unsure he becomes. Is she lying, or is she scared? Is she a master manipulator, or just someone lost in the mess she created? Will's internal conflict deepens every time he looks into Luna's eyes and sees vulnerability. She cries. She pleads. She touches her belly. She talks about the baby like it's already real. She imagines a future with Will, a family, and Will, who never asked for this, never believed he could ever be a father so soon, begins to picture it too. Not just the scandal, not just the weight of the Spencer name, but the possibility. A child. His child. A future different from the one he planned, but maybe not worse. The shift, subtle at first, grows stronger. He questions Steffi's intensity. He recoils at Finn's clinical detachment. He feels the walls closing in, the pressure mounting, and instead of siding with the people trying to protect him, he starts to feel more sympathy for the woman everyone is trying to destroy. He starts thinking, what if they're wrong? What if Luna is telling the truth? What if this baby is his and he's abandoning it before it even takes its first breath? The idea begins to haunt him, and once that seed is planted, it grows like wildfire. The wedge between Will and Steffi, Finn, becomes impossible to ignore. He starts resisting their pressure. He skips meetings. He ignores calls. He stops pushing for paternity testing. When Steffi confronts him, he deflects. When Finn warns him, he pushes back. The bond that was once so tight, forged in shared trauma and family loyalty, begins to erode. Will accuses them of being cold, controlling. He says they've made up their minds and don't care about the truth. Steffi, furious, reminds him of the stakes, that Luna is dangerous, that this is bigger than him, that one wrong move could blow up the entire family. But Will doesn't want to hear it. For the first time in his life, he wants to think for himself. And that's when Luna seizes the opportunity. She sees the shift. She leans into it. Her words become softer. Her hands linger longer. She tells Will he's the only person who's truly seen her. She cries in his arms. She whispers about the future. A baby. A home. A second chance. She tells him she believes in him. That she trusts him. That the baby will need a father like him. And Will, shaken, confused, and craving clarity, begins to believe her. He starts spending more time with her. He brings her food. He talks to her belly. He tells himself it's about the child, but he can't deny the pull. Then comes the breaking point. Will proposes. Not out of passion, not out of love, but out of desperation to make sense of the chaos around him. He tells Luna they can do it right, that they can start fresh, that maybe this was all fate. Luna, shocked, says yes. She clutches his hand, hides her smirk, and knows the game has changed. Now she has more than leverage. She has a husband-to-be, a Spencer, a shield from every lie, every investigation, every accusation. When Steffi and Finn find out, the explosion is immediate. Steffi storms into Will's apartment. She demands an explanation. She demands to know what he's thinking. Finn is stunned. He reminds Will of what's at stake, that they still don't have test results, that Luna still hasn't proven anything, that the timing, the circumstances, the entire narrative is suspicious. But Will doesn't care anymore. He says he made his choice, that maybe Luna made mistakes, but everyone deserves redemption, that the baby needs a father, not a courtroom, that he wants to step up. Steffi calls it insanity. Finn calls it manipulation, but Will shuts them down. The fracture is complete. The alliance is broken. And now the entire family is spiraling. Katie and Bill Spencer are horrified. Their son, the Golden Boy, is about to marry a woman they consider a fraud. Bill wants to intervene, but Will is of age. He can't be stopped legally. Katie tries to reason with him, but he won't listen. He's convinced himself this is the right thing. And Luna, she just smiles quietly, playing the role of the innocent bride-to-be, soaking up the protection and power she's long craved. But deep down, Will still doesn't have peace. He wakes up with doubts. He feels the pressure building. He knows, even if he won't say it, that something isn't right. That this path, this marriage, this child might be based on a foundation of sand. And yet, he's already gone too far. The wedding is coming. The press is buzzing. The family is in meltdown. And Luna is more entrenched than ever. The real question now isn't whether Luna is lying. It's whether anyone can reach Will before it's too late. Because once those vows are spoken, Luna becomes a Spencer in name and she never let go. And with that, the bold and the beautiful turns a pregnancy scam into a full-blown, dynasty-shaking war. Steffi and Finn may have set the trap, but now they're the ones watching the trap spring on them. And Luna, she's playing the long game, and she's winning. But as the bold and the beautiful always proves, no victory comes without consequences, and no lie can stay hidden forever. Just when Luna Nozawa believes she has secured her place within the Spencer dynasty, cracks begin to form in her carefully constructed illusion. The closer the wedding day gets, the more pressure mounts, not just from Steffi and Finn, but from Luna's own conscience, her paranoia, and the ever-growing fear that the truth will surface before she can walk down the aisle. Behind closed doors, Finn refuses to let the situation spiral out of control. He ramps up his investigation, quietly consulting with the hospital's legal and ethics board about Luna's medical history and the suspicious circumstances surrounding her pregnancy. He requests lab results, quietly pushes for access to Luna's prenatal records, and begins digging into the night Luna claimed Will fathered her child. What he finds is disturbing gaps in the medical documentation, inconsistencies in timelines, and a flagged report from a visit that Luna failed to mention, where no pregnancy was noted at all. The red flags multiply. Meanwhile, Steffi makes her move. Using her Forrester connections, She digs into surveillance footage from the building where Luna and Will supposedly had their accidental night together. The timestamps don't match Luna's story. Worse, Remy Price, the man Luna initially accused of being the father, steps forward with a new confession. He's tired of being used, tired of being silent. He tells Steffi and Finn that Luna begged him to take the fall because she wasn't sure who the father was. She just needed someone to deflect attention away from Will. Armed with this revelation, Steffi confronts Will again. She doesn't plead this time, she demands. She lays out every lie, every inconsistency, and every manipulation. But Will, already emotionally compromised, is defensive. He says none of it matters, that the baby is real, that Luna needs him, that maybe they didn't plan it, but now it's their future. Steffi, in a rare moment of vulnerability, tells him the truth. She's scared for him. Not just because of what Luna's doing, but because she sees him slipping away from who he is. She begs him not to lose himself to a lie dressed up as love. That night, alone in his apartment, Will begins to question everything. He watches Luna sleep. He thinks about the first time he saw her. The confusion, the intensity, the desperation. He hears Steffi's voice in his head. He replays his father's warnings. He remembers the moment he proposed and how Luna barely blinked before accepting. It felt too easy, too perfect. And suddenly, he feels the walls closing in. Did he walk willingly into a trap? The next morning, Finn receives a bombshell. The prenatal blood work finally comes back. The baby is real. But the DNA, it's not a match with Will. The father is someone else entirely. Finn and Steffi realize they now have irrefutable proof. But now comes the hardest part: how to reveal it. Do they go public? Do they confront Luna? Do they give Will the information privately? Or do they let the wedding happen and then bring everything crashing down? They decide to act before it's too late. The day of the wedding arrives. Luna is glowing, dressed in white, a soft smile hiding a storm of fear underneath. She knows she's days, maybe hours, away from being caught. But she clings to one thing. Once she says "I do," she becomes Mrs. Will Spencer. And that changes everything. Guests arrive. Paparazzi gather outside. Katie and Bill exchange tense glances, still hoping someone stops this madness. Steffi paces in the back of the chapel, holding the DNA results in her hands. Finn urges her to wait till Will see it first, to give him the dignity of deciding what to do next. In a quiet hallway, moments before the ceremony, Steffi corners Will. She hands him the file. No speeches, no accusations, just the truth. He opens it, reads it, freezes. The silence is deafening. Then slowly he walks back into the bridal room, where Luna is waiting. She turns, smiling. Is it time? He stares at her. His voice is calm, cold. Tell me who the father is. Her smile fades. She tries to deny. She tries to deflect. But Will holds up the file. You lied. Luna breaks. Tears fall. She drops to her knees. She begs. She says she didn't know what else to do. That she panicked. That she thought she was going to lose everything. She tells him she did love him. That maybe she still does. That maybe this baby could have been their family, even if it wasn't his. But Will walks away. Back in the chapel, guests are seated. The music swells. Then a message. The wedding is canceled. Whispers erupt. Chaos begins. Luna is escorted out. The media swarms. And Will, he disappears. Later that night, Finn and Steffi sit together on the Forrester balcony. They don't celebrate. They don't gloat. They just breathe. The lie is over. But the damage, that's just beginning. Because Luna knows though it doesn't vanish quietly. And if the bold and the beautiful has taught us anything, it's that broken hearts make the most dangerous enemies.